Welcome to Super Cool Stuff. Please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and like our video. Hey, I've got a few requests from you guys. I know asking me how to buy and sell stuff on Craigslist, and the do's, don'ts, as well as how to get some deals, and then obviously when you're selling, how to make sure that you sell it right. So, you know, there's obviously a lot of scams, issues, things that we hear. And also, aside from Craigslist, there's OfferUp, there's eBay, there's Amazon. So what do you sell on Craigslist and what works best for Craigslist? So let's start off with Craigslist. Now, first and foremost, as you all know, Craigslist is like the Walmart of selling stuff, right? Everybody knows it. It's nationwide. It works. And again, for the right reason, because it's been around for such a long time. It is, however, old, and there's not really an app for it. There's not really another way to access this other than going on the website itself. But look, let's get started. Let me tell you a couple things. So obviously I've got the screen here for Atlanta Craigslist. This is as of Monday, and I want to run you guys through a couple things. So Craigslist is best for selling a few things. It is great, however, for selling a couple things, but some it's not so great for. And I know when I look at the ads and stuff, I see some people here, they're trying to sell you know, some large items, some small items. So this is the first thing. Let's talk about selling things on Craigslist. So first and foremost, the things that sell really well on Craigslist is furniture, electronics, appliances, and again, you know, little gadgets, little car parts, anything that locally within 30 miles of where you live. Just think about it this way. If within 30 miles of where you live, somebody needs what you have, then absolutely throw it up on Craigslist. However, if it's something unique and it's small, or if it's light and you're willing to ship it and be a little patient about it, and people are willing to pay money for it, then by all means, you don't want to waste your time putting it on Craigslist. Let me reiterate a little further. If you're selling a camera, if you're selling a TV, if you're selling, for example, a video game system, if you're selling a printer, if you're selling some car parts, Craigslist, because somebody will need that nearby. However, if somebody is sitting in Texas, they will not see what's on the Craigslist in Atlanta unless they log into the Atlanta Craigslist and look at it. So if you're trying to sell like even a camera or an old video system like the PlayStation 1, you know, like the retro system, or something that's a collectible, something that's unique, and again, it's something that you're willing to ship and put up with, you know, put it in a box, go on eBay. Don't waste your time on Craigslist, because those things will not do well. Secondly, anything that you sell on Craigslist, you have to be able to make sure that somebody can come and pick it up and take it away from you. So look, I'll give you an example, right? If you're selling a couch, a fridge, if you're selling like a computer and printer, yeah, put it up on there. You know, it's gonna sell. But hey, if it's something unique, my best advice to you would be, unless you want to sit on this thing for months and months and months and months and months, is go ahead and put it up on eBay. Okay, so to get started, when you're selling something, the first thing you need are pictures. So if it's something big, take nice pictures. Here's the difference. You can get 150 bucks or you can get $600 for the same thing, depending on your pictures. A lot of time what I see on Craigslist is I see that a lot of folks have something up for sale and their pictures are not very nice. And I'm gonna give you an example, okay? So if I look at this sofa right here, this set right here, okay? It's 250 bucks. It's on there right now. Pictures are beautiful. They're definitely great, and they can work. Here, however, you know, they've got some covers on top of their sofa. Again, is that something people are going to pay money for? Yeah, they might, but I think for them, I'd recommend, hey, take the covers off and let us see what you got. You know, show us what you got, and then we'll show you the money, right? Here's another example of a good set of pictures is this sofa right here, right? Very simple, straightforward, and you can see it like this one here, for example, looks really good. They've got pillows on it, and you can see it that it's, hey, it looks really cool. I mean, there's a lot of money being asked for it, but again, pictures are the difference between selling something and not selling. This thing here, you know, pictures are not so great, right? I mean, if you look at something for 50 bucks right here versus 65, the one for 50 has better pictures than the one for 65. So look, take a minute or two, take some pictures. Again, make sure there's some lighting, and you know, do your best, right? So that way, at least it looks like it's there. Here's another example: a mattress, right? Sitting outside in the backyard. You know, if I'm gonna pay 80 bucks for this mattress, I mean, if it's sitting outside in the backyard somewhere, it looks probably gonna have like either some bugs in it, some worms in it. So it might have been rained on. And again, these are all assumptions I'm gonna have. If somebody down here has one for 150, I might as well go and buy that one. Secondly, get a good description. So very, very, you know, straightforward, right? Suede sofa, leather sofa, pretty straightforward. Have a good description there. So, you know, don't just put the name of what you're selling. Put like a quality next to it. So, very clean leather sofa, like new, right here, right? Very nice. Again, you want to put a description. And it's very, very, very important to have a description. Like this sofa, look, it might sell, but the description doesn't really help. And secondly, it's very also important is when you're selling is have a good brief description of what you're selling as well. So at the bottom, you know, aside from your location and the contact and how to, make sure that you have a really good idea of what you're selling, because the folks that are going to come to buy from you, they're going to look at all these ads. I mean, I typed in sofa, and there is 2,500 ads. So they're going to look at least a quarter of those, you know, about 500-600, and they're going to look at that, and they're going to come in with some information about what it's worth, the good and the bad, the ugly. So make sure you've got a good description. And lastly, do your homework. You know, if you're trying to sell a you know, let's just say a brown sofa, go on Craigslist. It's very simple. Okay, go on Craigslist and check it out. And if you want to skip through all these dealer wheelers all over here, click on search titles only, and that'll get you the 54 people that are selling a brown sofa, and you know what you're up against, right? You know what you're up against, you know how much you're going to pay, and you also know that, you know what it's worth. The one thing I'll caution you is this, like this right here, the $1 price tags. A lot of folks I know that I've talked to, that I work with as well, and helping them trying to sell on Craigslist, they stay away from these ads because they're always thinking that people are going to ask too much when you reach out to them. So if you don't want to get a lot of text from folks saying that, hey, I'll offer you 20 bucks or $10 or whatever, give them some idea. Like right here, right? $300 for this sofa. I know I can probably offer them about 200 bucks, and they'll, you know, they might say yes, they might come back and say no. Or these guys here for 150, offer them like 125. But again, it's very important to have a price. Last but not least, be honest about what you're selling. Look, if it's something that has an issue, point it out to the person. Again, it's very important to be honest. It's very important to be straightforward. And it's very important that, you know, when folks are reaching out to you, you will, as exciting as it sounds for people reaching out to you and saying, hey, I want to buy something from you, it is very, very, very important that you're transparent with them, because if you're transparent with them, they will buy from you. Okay? And then the absolute last thing, and this goes for buyers and sellers as well, is if it's possible, it's something you can pick up in your hand, right? If it's something like a digital camera, if it's like about 90% of stuff on Craigslist that you can pick up and put in your car, meet them at a public place. Starbucks, Walmart, coffee shop, you know, a mall, a grocery store, try to meet them at a public place. And if it involves large sums of money, if it's $200, $300, $400, $500, take somebody with you. Because what you don't want to do is, on the way back, you know, somebody knows you have money, God forbid, you know, you want to avoid that. So just make sure that you've got somebody with you. But again, just to recap, when you're selling, very simple. Make sure you've got a good description. Make sure you've got good pictures. Make sure your title is straight and to the point, and add something, right? Like a very clean sofa, like new, you know, this, or looks amazing, or, you know, this is like the newest model, the 2018 model, 2016 model. You know, people want to see that, and that'll make your product stand out. And then also be transparent and just make sure that that you're good to go. So that's the buying, the selling portion of it. Very simple. Actually, this kind of helps the buyers too. So there's 5 things when you're selling. When you're buying. Number 1 is do your homework, look on Craigslist, look on eBay, look on OfferUp, and see what those items go for. Secondly, know the features of those items, know how they work, know how they break down, kind of have some idea so when you can go test it. Thirdly, always make sure you have another option. So if it's something unless it's something that's super unique or whatnot, don't fall in love with it. You know, if you know it's only worth $50, don't go pay 80 just because of whatever. You will find one for 50 down the road. At the same time though, if it's something that's clean and in good condition, jump on it. You get on it right away. You know, when you're making contact, be straight and to the point. When you're buying something, you know, don't call somebody and tell them, hey, what about this, what about that? Tell them, look, here's my thing. I saw what you have for sale. I'm willing to pay you X amount, and this is why, and if it works, fine. So if you're willing to let me try it out and you can show me that it works, then by all means, you know, go for it, okay? So, but it's very, very, very important that when you're speaking with somebody, just be transparent. And again, you know, like I said earlier on, if you're gonna buy something, if it's something that somebody can hold in a hand, don't show up at their home. Tell them to meet you at a public place. You know, that's my advice. Meet them at a public place. Try it out. Make sure it works before you hand over the money. Because look, there are a lot of folks out there that are gonna sell you things that don't work. And I've had a few times where, you know, I bought something. Actually, matter of fact, I was browsing one day for an extra control. Oh, there it is, right there. It's on sale. A controller for a PlayStation 3. Guy called me. I called a guy. He said, "Look, I've got that for sale. I've got a controller and I've got a whole pack for $115. Ended up paying for it. You know, just obviously took his word for it, as you know, as most of us would do. Came home and realized that everything had water damage on it. So I spent about $115 on it. Just wasted it. Tried to call the gentleman back in, said, no, sorry, I gave it to you working, yada, 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 and you guys know how the rest goes. So it's very important that you guys are pretty diligent about that. And then one thing I will leave you with this is when you're buying, do your homework. So, you know, if you want to buy like a Canon digital EOS camera, for example, Canon digital camera, okay. Okay, right here. So for example, this one here, it's $50, right? So that one there's 50. This one here is about 200. The Rebel EOS. There we go. It's the EOS. You know, this one here, the T3 is going for 400. This one's going for 200. I know the T3. Actually, I know this camera. This is not a bad price for it actually. But just, you know, all the stuff that you're just make sure you know what you're buying and what you're getting yourself into, and that way you're not having to get disappointed down the road. You know, go on YouTube, go on eBay, check the prices, and that way you know what's going on. But anyways, guys, that is it. That wraps it up for Craigslist. I am going to be doing another one on OfferUp, eBay, and everything else in a couple days. But hey, leave me some comments, like the page, give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. And again, remember, if you're buying or you're selling, just make sure to be safe. You know, just make sure you know what you're getting yourself into in terms of the product, whatever you're buying. And if you're selling, and again, if it's a collectible item, if it's something that's very rare, exclusive, don't go on Craigslist. Go on another medium. eBay is probably the best way to go. Amazon is another one. But if it's something, think about it this way. Look at where your house is. If that item can be used within 30 miles and somebody would want it, and not just one person, but a few folks would want it, and then sell it on Craigslist. If it's something that you know can be sent, mailed across the US or anywhere else in the world, then by all means, sell it on other mediums. But anyways, guys, thanks so much.